everyone. It's good to have you today. It's a beautiful day outside. Sunshine, wind blowing. It's a beautiful day. Good day to be alive. And I just want to welcome you. Thank you for tuning in. And I have such a beautiful guest today. Brandy Drew. She is so close to my heart. And we have so much to share with you and how God has just intervened in her life and the things that she has went through and what we want to tell you today and what we want to show you with what she has went through is there is so much hope in recovery and just learning skills and learning your support system, learning how to turn to one another and just always remember, and I say this every show I think, is as long as there's breath in your body, there's hope for you. And we just want you to know that. And we want to emphasize that today. And we want you to know that on September 25th, we are having a luau for the House of Ruth. And we have sent out letters and we have posters. If anyone is interested, you can host a table, and there are different pricings on that. And we just want to welcome everyone that would be a part of it. We would like to have reservations just so we know how much food that we're going to need. But again, it is during September, and that's National Recovery Month, and it's September 25th. If you want any information about it, you can go to our website, which is houseofruthIN.org, or you can go to our Facebook page. There's information about it. Contact us at the House of Ruth, but we just want to make a big deal this year. Last year was our 10th year anniversary, and we did not get to celebrate it because of COVID. So this year we're going to make up for that. So we're going to have food, and our guest speaker is Craig Kenyon, the CEO of Reed Hospital in Richmond, and now we have a Reed Hospital here in Connersville. But we really want to promote that. That's our biggest fundraiser of the year, and we would like for you to come. And it's going to be luau style. So you're welcome. Just give us a call, email us any way that you can contact us. We would love to hear from you. And then don't forget about the meetings. There's a meeting every day of the week here in Connersville, and there's a lot of information on it. You can contact me. You can contact Charmin Gabbard. The cafe is open now. I mean, there is information, resources that we have. So don't hesitate in reaching out to find a place to go to a meeting. But without further ado now, I want to introduce to you Brandy Drew.
Hi.
And she's such a wonderful, special person to me. And I was praying actually this week. I told her that on my way home from Richmond, I said, I would love to have just a special guest. And I walk in the House of Ruth, and she's sitting there. And I haven't seen you probably, I mean, here and there, but to really get to talk. And all the new girls got to meet her, and she got to share her story. And that's what she's going to do today. And she has quite a story. She has struggled, and she is doing wonderful today. So I'm going to let her just go ahead and start where she wants. Do you just want to start with how you got to the House of Ruth?
Sure, that's a special story.
It is.
It's a very special story. I got to the House of Ruth. Well, my choice of drugs, I guess I need to start with that, was Xanaxes and pain pills. And
Prescription. Yes.
And I took some, went to Walmart, thought I was invincible, and I walked out, and I got caught. So I went to jail. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I wanted help, but I didn't know how to find help. And Miss Sharon come down to see a Brandy, but it wasn't me. However, she got me instead of the other one.
Yeah,
so
when
she
they
said
called
it was
your
her
name,
sign.
it was
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
They took me down there, and it was. You're like, I don't think you're. I said my last name is Drew. She's like, I needed, the other one. So it's like, but you believed it was a sign, and you come and got me.
Yeah.
So
I believe that was a God thing.
Yeah, it was a sign, and so I went to the house in 2014, May of 2014, and did the 18 months. Transitioned out in 15 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was a lot of bumps in the road. You got reunited with your kids.
Yes, my kids didn't want anything to do with me. Casey would bring Wesley up to see me. The boys didn't want anything, nothing. I lost my grandkids. I lost my kids. I lost my husband. I lost
It was a rough
everything.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got prescribed medicine because of my dad was diagnosed with cancer. He went in for a hernia surgery, and then they opened him up and found out he had lung cancer, and it spread, and we only had 2 months. So I should say I was never in trouble or anything until I turned like 36 or 38 years old, and then I lost my dad. I don't even know if I've told you some of this.
It's okay. Share what's on your heart.
When we were trying to bury Dad, I got a message saying he's probably biologically not your dad. That sent me into a whirlwind. Not to mention the day of the funeral, my cousin said, "Oh, I think your dad is actually my dad. Can we get hair follicle and have it tested?" Wrong place, wrong time.
Right.
And then the person I was told that they thought was my dad, he showed up at my dad's funeral. And I just went downhill.
To pieces, yeah.
I didn't care. I mean, I had, 3 grandbabies at that time, and I didn't have a care in the world. My kids needed me the most, and I let them down when they needed me the most. But it's all healed.
Yes.
It's all healed. It's all good. Now I have 12 grandbabies.
Cheaper by the dozen.
Yeah. Not only, I lost my marriage, but in 2018, we got back together and got remarried in 2019.
Yeah.
So, everything I learned from everything I learned from House Ruth helped me make peace with my kids. The steps that I was supposed to take through recovery, the meds that I was supposed to take. No, I still don't have a relationship with my mom. I don't know that I want one, but when I feel like I give a chance, it just doesn't work. So I don't know what, I don't know.
But in situations like that, you can only do what you can do. You've made amends, you've tried to make amends, and, sometimes the other person has to also.
Well, and she's tried, and then it's like, I am stubborn, and
yeah.
So
it happens. It happens. That's all right.
Yeah.
But I know. I can remember you at the house, and we used to laugh. And I have to tell the story about you falling down the steps. We were getting ready for the Royal Ball, and we used to laugh because you wore the flip-flops. And every time you'd walking down the sidewalk, everything, you'd just trip over yourself.
I still do.
And we used to laugh about that so much. And then you're in your royal ball gown and you just roll down the steps
Yep.
and stand up and be like, I'm okay.
I was like Cinderella.
Yeah.
I'm just going tumbling down the hill, tumbling down the steps, shoes all and all.
Oh, I can remember. We have a lot of good memories.
Yep.
We really do.
I know when I first went there, I decided when I got there, I don't know, I don't know if I can do this because, you don't see no one for 30 days, which I wasn't seeing anybody anyway, but it was just change. I guess I'm not good with change.
Yeah.
But,
it's hard. Recovery's hard. It's not, okay, I'm just going to go into this program and everything's going to be fine and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, because sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I have girls in there right now. I had a girl yesterday that we sat and talked a long time, and I can remember you doing this, and she just sat down and put her face in her hands, and she said, I just can't do it. I can't do it. And I said, but you can. I said, we're going to pray, and I said, I promise, if you'll just stick it out, you're going to be fine. And she ended up, we was just working at the retail store that we're getting ready to open, and she was, afterwards, she says, I'm okay, Miss Sharon, and sometimes, though, you just need that little bit of boost, of it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right, because some days we don't feel like it's going to be.
But I never had the support. I never had support until you come into my life, till you guys come into my life. And that's where I learned. That's where I learned to trust people again.
Aw, I love you.
I love you too.
Brandy and I tell you, there's a special bond when you spend every day with someone, and we've prayed together, we've cried together, we've laughed together. We've done silly things together. It builds a bond. And even my daughter and my son, they come up to the House of Ruth, and we become a family. And I think, I know that that's the reason that the program works as well as it does, because I have so many women that come in and they're like, I've never had anyone, love me. And that's God in me. Because that's, our human love, it's just not, we pick and choose who we're going to love and how we're going to feel. But God, He has that unconditional love. And I've always said He's had to put that in my heart, because I didn't used to be that way. And I just love how God works and how He moves in that home.
Yeah, and and then after I questioned God after graduating. I was graduated in 2015, and in 2019 I found out I had breast cancer. And I'm like, I felt after everything, and now here's this. But I knew how to handle it.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. What happened?
I just, every deodorant I used was breaking me out. And so I was just itchy all the time. And so when I was scratching, I found the lump. And so I went and did everything, and they found out in November of 2019 that it was breast cancer.
Okay.
And it's hereditary.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay.
It is hereditary.
Okay.
My aunt had it, which I didn't know until they were asking me questions I had to ask. So now my daughter has to go and get checked when she, in her 30s, she has to start going every year to get checked. And guys can get it too.
Okay.
I never knew that, but I got 4 granddaughters, three granddaughters that they're gonna have to be checked because of it being hereditary.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you had to have surgery.
Yep. they took the lump out, and then they did the reduction instead of me just getting off fake ones, because I was so big breasted anyway that where the cancer was, they could just cut it out. So that's the way it went. Then they put my port in. Then we went over treatment.
That was quite a journey for you, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chemo. It was rough.
You
But
lost your hair.
that was the roughest part. That was probably the hardest part for me.
When you lost your hair?
Yeah. I mean, I can't explain it.
Right.
I would just like brush my hair and it would come out. Finally, I just went into the bathroom and cut it off all by myself because it was easier than to sit there and watch my hair fall out.
Just fall out.
Or for it to be on the chair, or for it to, be on the pillow or all over me, or the way it was going. So.
Right. I can't even imagine, because I think with a woman, especially because I did hair for so long, for you to lose your hair, because I mean, how can you hide that? I mean, there's scarves and wigs and things like that, but I'm just saying, when people look at you, they may not see your surgeries and they may not, but when they look at you, that's the first thing they see.
Yeah.
And I don't think the emotional and mental devastation of that, I don't think people fully understand that part of it.
And it was even harder because COVID hit.
Yeah.
COVID had hit right after I had the breast reduction. It had hit right after that. So going through that and getting back on the pain medicine and stuff, you get in your head.
Yeah.
I had, I sat in the house all the time by myself.
Right.
Because that's what wasn't allowed out. My
Right.
immune system was too weak. But I had friends, I have family. My friends are my family. If I needed, they were a phone call away, even if it was just to say that they love me, or and I still have all these wonderful people.
Yeah.
So
a support system is so important during recovery, because that's a type of recovery that you had to go through. The emotional and the mental, the physical, all of that, was so devastating to you. And, and we were talking, and there again, we were, doing hair and stuff. We were talking about gray hair and everything, and I'm like, well, I cover mine. And you said I went gray for a while, but it's like, I'm too young.
yeah, I had to go and get it colored because it was like, I feel, well, I'm 48 anyway, so I felt so much older with my hair just coming back all gray.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you should feel good about yourself.
I do.
I think so too.
I do. But chemo wasn't easier. I've had three different chemo doctors. And now I have a different physician, and with being on the pain medicine and stuff, but as long as I have been on it, she hasn't seen me yet, but when she sees me, she wants to take me off. She said I've been on it for too long, that it will cause addiction, so we're going to come off of it.
Yeah. And see, that's amazing because, and if you think about it, I mean, you were addicted because it was prescribed to you, and now it is needed for everything you've been through. But I'm so grateful to that doctor that they understand that that's something that you can't do, and you need that support of.
Am I scared? Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Because yesterday I had treatment yesterday, so my last treatment is in September. It's when my last treatment will be. But they put me on another oral medicine because my estrogen is what pushes my breast cancer. It's what feeds the breast cancer.
Okay.
So I have to take this pill for 5 years at least. And they said I have to have the bone density test. I have to, it's side effects, joint pain, muscle pain, all that kind of pain.
Yeah.
Which is what I went through during chemo anyway. So it's not like I don't think any of that's going to change because I already have it anyway. So.
Yeah. And then chemo does that.
Yeah.
It cause it. I was told that it, can deteriorate your bones
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Anyway, so sometimes the treatment can be worse than the disease.
Yeah.
So
Radiation was even hard on me.
yeah,
I mean, I got burnt from it so bad, and then I got sick from being burnt, and I had to stop going for like a week,
yeah.
almost 2 weeks. I could heal before they could finish it. So
Wow.
it was really, if I'd have to say that radiation was probably harder on me than the chemo
Then
was.
the chemo.
Besides losing my hair. I know
Right.
that sounds petty to me, but
Well,
you know me. I
Yeah.
always loved doing my hair.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that's petty at all, though, because of being a woman. I mean, I just feel like that. Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree. Because I mean, that's when we do our hair and we do our makeup. I mean, we do it because we want to look nice, and then, then when it's gone, I can't even imagine
right.
the
I didn't feel
devastation.
like doing anything.
Yeah.
I barely got in the shower some days,
Yeah. Well.
or some few days.
Yeah.
I didn't,
Yeah.
and then I'd.
And then trying to
Some
work because you were in management
Yeah.
at McDonald's and you were working and I remember when you got your job at McDonald's when you was working at the House of Ruth.
Yeah.
We were so excited. And then you went. I mean, you were there.
6 years.
Yeah, 6
I started
years.
at Hardee's first when I was at the house,
Yeah.
and then the other ones went to McDonald's, and so
Yeah.
I followed.
Followed. Yeah.
And 6 months I was training to be a manager.
Yeah.
And I was very honest with Julie
Uh-huh.
about my history,
Mhm.
but she still fought for my second
Yeah.
chance. With
Yeah.
her and Kristen and you and everybody else
Yeah.
checking on me through my chemo and
Yeah.
do you need anything? Can I
Yeah.
fix you something to eat? Can I bring you something? That kept me out of a dark spot.
Dark place. Yeah. Yeah. But you have something in you that we love. And you have to pull that out. You have to help people. I mean, you got to love one another. You just have to. And when people are struggling like that, that's when we need each other the most. I mean, that's the hardest part in people's lives, and I think that's why, like we were talking before we started the show. I mean, learning the trust,
Mm-hmm.
learning the love. Not expecting anything in return. The only thing I want in return is your success.
And used to say when we went to church, 7 hugs a day. So when we went to church, we always got our hugs.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves it. And even working at Liberty Bell store now, there's
Uh-huh.
a gentleman, an older guy that comes in, and he'll say, "Has anyone told you Jesus loves you today?"
Aw.
And I say, "No." And he's like, "Well, he does." Well, now I recognize him in the store.
Yeah.
And then the other day we were talking about it. He's like, "Oh, so you remember that?" I was like, "Absolutely. I know you're the one that says that to me every time you come in here."
Aw. Stuff like that sticks out.
Yeah.
But it is the truth. I mean, psychologically, they say that it takes 7 hugs a day to be healthy. And there's people that don't get hugs. They don't get 7 hugs a week,
I know.
let alone a day. And I'm a hugger. I know with
Me too.
COVID, that was one of them things. I'm like, everybody's like, you don't get in my space. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I still hugged.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
But,
think
you
it's
know.
healthy. I think it's good for you. And now they're doing the fist bumps and the elbow things. I'm like, that's not a hug.
but if it wasn't for the House of Ruth coming through this cancer, and if it wasn't for my kids and husband and the support and learn what I learned at the House of Ruth, I could have went right back down that addiction road.
Yeah.
I was in a very, very bad place. I mean, mentally,
Yeah.
I was in my head constantly,
Yeah.
you know,
Was scared.
wondering Why? What? How? You know.
Yeah.
I always said, one day I'm gonna make my boots, because I always sneezed in my shirt.
Yeah.
So I always said, one day they're gonna get sick. Well, I guess
They
if you
did.
think about it, they did. They got sick.
That's
I used
funny.
to talk. Me and Cody always made fun of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But no matter what, and it's just like you said, the things that you have learned, I'm so grateful to be a part. I'm honored. I'm serious to be a part of the things that you have learned. And if you could tell anybody today that is watching this show, what is the most important thing they can do when they get in depression or they lose hope or they're in that dark place? Just talk to them from your heart.
You go look for support. You find your Bible, you find the verses, or you reach out to someone that, if you don't know it, you reach out to someone that does know it. And you find, and the scriptures will just come to you.
Yeah.
They'll just come.
Yeah. And you have a peace now. I mean, even though, look at the things you've been through. And do you feel like you have found that peace that, that you can deal
Yes.
with?
It was rough, but yes, I have it.
Yes.
Sometimes I think, I had a bad day yesterday, I was switching doctors again, and I got in my head, and then I was just having a bad day, I was like, I didn't even want to go to treatment, because I've been doing it for almost 2 years. I'm just tired.
You're tired of it, yeah.
But I went. I know I can't
and
quit.
And you're here today.
Yeah, and I know that I can't turn back to the pills and get addicted, because not only I lose those grandbabies that I fought so hard to be back in their lives, I'll lose my kids again.
Yeah.
I'll lose my husband again.
Yeah.
But the House of Ruth also taught me, it's funny. It's not funny, but they also taught me how to be a mother to my kids. And it's not that you guys taught me that so much, but the young girls that come in, they looked at me that way.
They looked up at you. Yes, they did.
And, some of the girls, most of the girls still will say, they call me Aunt B or whatever. And so thankful that I was in their life. And, one of them's mom thanked me for being there for her when she couldn't be there because she was in her own.
Yeah.
And that was hard for me, because I couldn't be a parent to my kids. I never knew. I always let them down. But I learned how to be there for them now as adults.
Absolutely.
And I learned that because
the Lord allowed you to mother the young girls that came in there, and they did. Yeah. I can remember them. I need to talk to Brandy. I need to ask Brandy what she thinks, and I can remember. Absolutely. Well,
so we got addiction down, and my breast cancer treatment is almost over. I just got 2 more treatments left.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful.
Yeah, and you're doing wonderful.
I have my days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? In all those days, and this is one thing, and this is what's going to encourage people that are watching, is everybody has bad days. Everybody gets down.
Yes.
Everybody, it's a struggle. Life is a struggle. And we're going through things now that we've never had in our life. This COVID, and then this new strain, and and then plus the regular things in life, cancer, death, And what I want to encourage you today is just listen to what Brandy has said and understand that no matter what you're going through, there's hope.
Absolutely.
There's prayer. You are a prayer away. And I just want you to know that we love you. We appreciate you. I'm here for you.
Me too. If anybody needs help, I'm here.
So if there's anything that I can do, you can call the House of Ruth. Let me help you, or let me help you help someone. But thank you for tuning in today, and hope to see you next month. God bless you. Have a great day.